I've talked to my attorney, and I'm being advised to go with them, I guess, down to Whipple. And my children are here. They're impacted by this. This is all stemming from the fact that I filmed a protest as a member of the media.
Trump's Justice Department has brought criminal charges against 9 people after an anti-ICE protest at a St. Paul church last month. People charged include former CNN anchor Don Lemon and longtime multiple Emmy Award-winning Minnesota journalist Georgia Fort. Both Lemon and Fort were just there covering the protest. Ms. Fort joins us live now. Ms. Fort, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me.
I was struck by those videos that you filmed during the course of your arrest as agents came to your home, and the sort of very serious calm with which you told your viewers on Facebook Live that your kids were in the house when that happened. I just want to ask how you're doing and how your kids are doing.
We're recovering. It was extremely traumatic to have nearly 24 agents come to our home. My 17-year-old daughter, you could hear crying in the background. She woke up after she heard the knocking on the door. My younger 2 daughters, who are 7 and 8 years old, they slept through most of it. However, I did find out at some point my 8-year-old woke up, but she was so terrified, she just laid in the bed and cried. Now what we're seeing from them, they're afraid to be alone. They're having issues going through their normal routines. And so we're trying to recover from this.
In terms of the legal process here, I know you have a good lawyer. Do you have any help with your legal fees? One of the things that I think sort of zoomed around the journalistic community, and particularly as soon as we heard about your arrest, was about how those of us who work at big companies think about our legal defense very differently than somebody who's been an independent operator the way you have, even with your very successful show and journalistic career in Minnesota. Are you bearing these costs on your own, or do you have help?
My legal team has been extremely supportive, and the community has also been supportive. Folks have been going to my website and making contributions there, but not just to the legal fund. Folks are wanting to support my ability to continue telling the stories. This is something I think that definitely would probably silence a lot of journalists, and I'm committed to continuing to tell the story. So I'm grateful that there has been an outpouring of support directly to my website, and not just for legal fees, but just for my continued work as an independent journalist.
A lot of legal observers have said that the indictment kind of reads like it was written in Comic Sans, forgive me, that it doesn't seem like it's very well thought out, and that it doesn't actually seem like it's even designed to survive much testing in the courts. That doesn't mean that it's any less traumatic what's happened to you, or how difficult it is to bear these charges. But given the flimsiness and novelty of the charges that have been laid against you, do you have any sense, any understanding, or even any theories as to why you've been singled out in this way?
Well, I would say that it is not new in America to see attack on Black journalists. I think in the last few years, we've seen an exodus of not just Black journalists, but journalists in general from mainstream media. There's been a series of things that have happened, right? Like the Pentagon reporters who were not going to comply with the new policies that were put in place, Kimmel being pulled off air, the segment on 60 Minutes not running when it was supposed to, and probably only running because of the outcry from the public, right? And so there's been a strategic attack on the free press for quite some time. But recently it is intensifying, and I would say that the arrest of myself and Don Lemon is a new level to threaten taking someone's freedom away for them simply doing their job, to try and criminalize journalism. Journalism is not a crime. And for me, when I think about the attack that we're currently seeing on the press, I really want American people to understand attacking the press is not simply just attacking journalists. It's attacking the public's right to know. So often there are things that have happened with government agencies, people in power, big institutions, and they sometimes may cover up their misdeeds. It is the act of journalists and journalism that oftentimes reveals those truths. And so if we are going to attack this pillar of our democracy, I'm concerned that the information war that we've been experiencing is going to escalate to another level. And the last thing I'll say is to just kind of expound on that. We saw AI images being published by the White House that misportrayed the reaction of one of the protesters being arrested, right? The only way that we knew it was fake was because someone was there to document what really happened. And so we're entering a time where I do believe that this is an information war. And so the people who are standing up for truth, the people who are not afraid to document what's happening, I think that we're going to continue to be attacked.
Yeah. And that attack for democracy defending itself has to be met with not just an equal-sized and equally aggressive defense of journalism and journalists, but one that is a defense effort that I think is larger than the attack that engendered it in the first place. Georgia Fort, I am a fan of your work. The Twin Cities is lucky to have you now and forever. Emmy Award-winning independent journalist in Minnesota. I know you're going through a lot right now. Please stay in touch. We'd love to have you back as this moves forward.
Thank you so much, Rachel.